This particular video with a new drawing, and the drawing is called simpletemplate.dwg, and as usual you can download it from the library to follow along with this particular video. Now what we're going to take a look at is creating, surprise surprise, a simple AutoCAD template, hence the name of the file, simpletemplate.dwg. Now this simpletemplate.dwg file is a blank drawing, but it's got a few little settings set up here and there to allow you to save it as a template so that you can reuse it over and over again to create new DWG files. So let's take a quick look at the settings that have been set up. If you go to the Home tab in the ribbon and go to the Layers panel and click on the Layer Flyout menu here, can you see we've got some preset layers in place, like so. And you could add some more there if you wanted to. Just pop to Layer Properties, click on New Layer here. You could potentially add some more layers that you might want to add. I'll close the Layer Properties Manager at this point. So we've got some preset layers in place. Now there are some other little bits that have been set up for us as well. If you type Units and press Enter, in the Drawing Units dialog you can see that we're using decimal for length and 2 decimal places. We're using decimal degrees and 4 decimal places. Our direction, if I click on the direction button, is east is 0. I'll just cancel that so that I don't make any changes. Also, you'll notice down here, it's a bit of a giveaway that we are using decimal because our little units pop-up is there on the status bar bottom right. Remember to click on the little flyout arrow to lose that particular menu. You can't hit escape to switch it off. So that's our simple template.dwg file. It's got some very basic settings. One more thing while I remember, we've also got a layout tab set up, ISO A3 landscape. If I click on that, we've got a simple title block set up, and also if I right click and go into Page Setup Manager, you'll notice here we've got a little page setup, ISO A3 landscape, PDF high res. So our page setup, if we plot the drawings, will plot to a high res PDF. I'll just close the Page Setup Manager and I'll click on the Model tab again. It's normally a good idea when you save your drawing to save it in the Model tab or a specific layout tab. I tend to go with Model. Some people save the layout tab with the title block, this one here. So I've made a few changes here and there and clicked on a few things. So let's just go up to Save here on the Quick Access toolbar to save our drawing. That way all of the settings are saved, ready for us to create our template file. Now an AutoCAD template file is a DWT file. So instead of DWG at the end, it's got DWT. Now the way that you can check that is if I go up to New here on the Quick Access toolbar, it'll automatically take me to the default template folder in AutoCAD. Now your AutoCAD options decide where AutoCAD looks for templates. And this is just the default setting. When you install AutoCAD, this is the default template folder that I'm using at the moment. Now in AutoCAD, if you see a template that's got ISO in it, it's normally predisposed to metric units. If it hasn't got ISO in it, it's normally predisposed to imperial units. So you can see there we've got the acad.dwt file. We've also got the acad ISO.dwt file. And those are templates, just blank templates that you can use for new drawings. Now, if you're using AutoCAD LT, it won't have ACAD, ACAD. Instead, it will have ACLT. Just a little distinction there between full AutoCAD and AutoCAD LT. So if you are using AutoCAD LT to follow along with this course, be aware that the templates will have ACLT instead of ACAD, like so. Now, this template folder is where I'm going to save my little template that we're going to create. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cancel this. I don't actually need to use a template, and I'm going to save my drawing file like so. So there's my simpletemplate.dwg file. So what we need to do there now is save this as a template file. So we're going to go up to the Quick Access toolbar again and click on Save As, like so. And as you can see, we're in Chapter 2 using units and options, and there's the drawings we've been working with. Now if I want to do a save as, it gives me the file name of the existing file and the file type. At the moment it's set to DWG. If I click on the flyout there, halfway down, AutoCAD drawing template, DWT. You'll also notice there's lots of different DWGs and DXFs. We need the DWT. Click on that, and surprise, surprise, it defaults to the template folder, which is where we were a moment ago. So I can now save a DWG, a blank DWG with all the settings that I want to use, as a DWT in the default template folder. Now, the file name, I'm just going to utilize over here our little layout tab here, ISO A3 landscape. So I'm going to call it ISO A3-landscape. So just type that in, make sure that file of type is set to DWT, and then you're going to click on Save. Now, as soon as you do that, it'll ask for a description of the template. So I'm just going to put in there default ISO A3-landscape template. So let's give it a little description. Again, you don't have to go wild there, but you can see there that it's got a description now. So that file, if I look at it, it'll have a description in a text field somewhere. Now, measurement, it's a metric template that I'm using. It's in millimeters and decimal settings and so on. English will set it to imperial. So if you're using imperial units like feet and inches, you want to make sure that's set to English. But I'm using metric. So when I click on OK now, it will save that. You can see you've got a big, long, weird file path at the top. And if I just click on Save, it'll lose the file path and just display the file name. So you've just created a DWT file. You've now got a template file that you can use to open drawings at any given time. And what I would like you to do is obviously go off and change some of the settings in that original DWG. Maybe add some more layers. Maybe add some more title blocks, things like that. Have a go at creating different template files that you can use, different sheet sizes, all that kind of stuff, different page setups and so on. Because that particular title block had a nice A3 page setup, and it was set up to plot, I think, if I remember rightly, to high-res PDFs. You might want a page setup that plots to a plotter. You might want a page setup that plots to a different sheet size. So have a look at that. And we do talk about page setups in this course. So obviously, once you've been through the course, you can jump in and work with your page setups and maybe set up some title blocks and templates that could be used within your organization on a day-to-day basis. Now, our DWT file is saved. You can see there it's got the name at the top of the screen. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to close this particular file. Now, what's really nice about AutoCAD is I can just go up to this little cross here on the File tab, click on it, and that closes the file. Now, you'll notice now I'm back in the Start tab, and there's all different drawings that I've been using, as you can see there. But if I just go up here to New on the Quick Access toolbar, you'll notice there's my ISO A3 landscape.dwt there, like so. So I select that, click on Open, and you'll notice now that I've got a drawing1.dwg at the top of the screen, but my drawing1.dwg has my layers, like so. I'll hit Escape there, type units, press Enter, and there's all my units as well. So I can click on Cancel there, and I can perhaps do a Save As and save this as a different file of a different file name. You'll also notice there's the title block that we had pre-created as well. Back to the Model tab. That's how quick and easy it is to save a template file. And if you want to use the simple template.dwg file that's stored in the library for you to download, maybe use that as your base template and then change it, update it accordingly, and work with that one and see what you can do with it by changing the settings in the DWG file and then saving it as a template for future use. What you can do now in this particular drawing is you can close the drawing one, we don't need that. Save changes, no, we don't need to save them at all, and then you're back to the Start tab in AutoCAD, in my case AutoCAD 2024.